Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful autumnal day today. Bright sunshine, but crisp and quite cold. My heating came on last night. And yeah, the leaves are definitely starting to turn now. So we are definitely in autumn. And I still haven't talked to you about some of the summer releases that I bought, and I actually ordered yesterday the Chanel, from the Chanel holiday collection. So we're already at Christmas. I already showed you the Tom Ford palette I bought from the Soleil Neige collection, which I don't think they specifically say is a holiday release, but I mean it plainly is a winter release. And by the way, I'm loving that palette. I would definitely recommend it as one of the more wearable Tom Ford quads, even though it's got it's got two mattes, dark and a light, well, matte, kind of satiny matte, to be honest, and two shades with glitter in, but they're not toppers, and they are very wearable, and I've been enjoying that palette this week. But I haven't really got round to trying much else. These two items in front of us, I thought I'd just pop on and talk about. One is from Rabanne, a Paco Rabanne fashion house that has more recently got into, well, first of all, they got into jewellery and fashion jewellery, and now they've got into makeup. Of course, they have makeup and fragrance. That's where the money is these days, particularly in harder times. So I was quite interested because they are very kind of fashion forward. I do like some of the fashion releases, and the makeup seemed to be no exception. For eyes, they were doing quads with quite unusual colour combinations, perhaps not kind of in the realm, I'm going to say, of the Prada releases, but as I'm going to say to you in a moment, on the basis, and it's a weak basis because I only bought one product, I don't think the quality is the quality of the Prada eyeshadows. These are cheaper, it's fair to say. So I thought this kind of silvery tin effect for the duo was quite typical of Paco Rabanne design, which is kind of 70s, I would say. They had on Selfridges quite a few of these different ones. This one is called Put a Ring on It. It wouldn't have been my first choice. It was like my second choice. I think I would have gone for a taupey and gold because I don't wear pink a huge amount, but that was already sold out. So I thought I'll go for a duo rather than a quad to see what I think of the texture and colour and so forth. And you can see both kind of odd, slightly glittery, but they don't feel gritty. They feel quite smooth. And when you swatch them, it's more like a chromey effect. You can see a bit of payoff there, fallout rather, there. But equally, I think you can see there, they're both very, very sheer. So they don't have the consistency of toppers, but they apply, I suppose, being kinder, you talk about it being more of a colour wash. And I don't mind that in general terms. I don't, I find too pigmented colours quite difficult to work with on the eyes. But these really are very, very sheer. I mean, the pink is very pretty. It's kind of got that gold shift to it. And the taupey one, a kind of silver shift to it. So they are pretty, but I mean, honestly, if you think they are faint on my hand, really faint on the eyelids. Now, I haven't seen anyone else reviewing these at all. So I don't know if they have sold well, what people think. I'm not sure if they've been released in America at all. They obviously got a European release. So, yeah, I have to say, on the basis of this one purchase, and I recognise that, one isn't a lot to go by, whilst it seems like quite a nice gimmick, I wasn't that impressed, and I wouldn't be buying again. I wish I could tell you off the top of my head how much I paid for this. I will put it in the description box below if I can find it written down somewhere. I think they're pretty much sold out on Selfridges. So it's a good job I didn't like it, because you won't feel you have to rush to buy it. The other little item that I got is the good old faithful Bobbi Brown, who I don't buy a lot from these days. Of course, nothing to do with Bobbi Brown anymore. She's gone into the Jones Road market. So a Luxe eyeshadow, a single in Rich Sparkle, which I think is an existing shade. Moonstone. It's definitely an existing shade. The reason I bought this was because it was a limited edition collaboration with Jenny Packham, the dress designer, and it's plainly meant to be as a wedding eyeshadow, because you've got a little ribbon, the 2 rings, the Cupid's heart, and a bow, and Jenny Packham mentioned there on a little gold limited edition eyeshadow. I thought, too cute, must have it. Moonstone, a gold with a bit of a pinky shift, looking pinkier there in the monitor than in real life. This does feel quite gritty. You can see very definite gold, but again, very much a topper, and a slightly more gritty, glittery topper, so much more akin to, it doesn't feel gritty actually on the back of the hand, much more akin to the Tom Ford toppers, which I think for most of us are the kind of least favourite. And especially as a single, I'm not sure you're going to use, obviously you can use it with your other palettes and eyeshadows, but you're probably going to need something else and be putting this on as a kind of accent on the mobile lid or the corner or whatever. And I'm just too lazy, really, to take out multiple palettes these days. I like to take out a one and done or a quad or a trio or whatever and just use that. Or use a couple of colours from it for my eye looks these days. I realise that I'm pretty lazy. I just haven't got much time. So, very pretty packaging. Not so sure about the product itself, but if you're a collector, you might, want to get the packaging. So I just thought I'd mention those two. Not as great recommendations, either of them, before I get to the nitty-gritty with Chanel. Hopefully in a couple of days my purchases will be delivered, and some other bits and pieces as well. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, that you've had a lovely restful weekend, and that you have a fabulous week. Until next time, bye for now.